If your gut feels off, constipated, bloated, backed up, or reacting to everything that you eat, this is not random. This is your body begging you to stop piling more foods on top of this undigested waste in you that hasn't even been eliminated yet. And if you don't heal it now, this discomfort turns into dis-ease. I used to deal with chronic gut issues every single day for several years until I followed exactly what I'm about to share with you today and healed my gut 100% naturally. So let me walk you through 7 natural, real ways to heal your gut from the root without more supplements, powders, or bullshit advice. So the first thing we need to speak on is how well our nervous system is regulated, especially while we're eating. So I used to eat around people, I couldn't fully relax around. They were always talking about drama and things that were just not calming and soothing to my nervous system. And, I would scroll on my phone as I was eating or watch TV or, eat in work environments that weren't relaxing, okay? And this was all signaling to my body, hey, we're not in a optimal state to be digesting food right now. And, so our food isn't being fully absorbed. The nutrients aren't being fully absorbed, and the food isn't being fully broken down and digested, turning into this undigested waste. And this undigested waste in us manifests into digestive chaos. It ferments and causes gas and shoots up our esophagus, resulting in heartburn, chest pressure and pain, or acid reflux. Things like this, bloating, constipation. Because when we're about to eat in a worried, stressful, or chaotic state, our digestion gets put on pause, okay? Your nervous system is very ancient. It doesn't know the difference between you just being stressed out over some work or a relationship and you getting chased by a tiger out in the bushes back then, okay? Your nervous system is very ancient. It just knows stress is stress. It doesn't know the specifics. So when we're eating in this stressful state, our blood in our digestive system gets pushed out to our limbs, our hands and our arms and our legs so that we can run, right? Our nervous system thinks, hey, we're not safe right now. Like, we've got to go. Our adrenaline is up. We're breathing very shallow and things like this. So to break this down into simplest terms, when you're eating in a stressed or overthinking state, your digestion is put on pause. So it's not actually digesting and breaking down your food and absorbing its nutrients and the energy from it. But when you signal to your nervous system, hey, I am in a rest and digest state, I'm relaxed, everything is all good, I'm present, I'm in the moment, your digestion is turned on, okay? Everything is in homeostasis, your organs, your digestive organs, and everything can be broken down properly. So how do you signal or communicate to your nervous system, hey, I'm in an optimal, safe state to be in a rest and digest state? So number 1 is just to be present, okay? Get off of the phone, get away from people that are very chaotic and just stress you out, and get into a relaxed mode. Get into the present. Feel yourself, feel your body, okay? Feel your hunger, feel if you're actually hungry or just eating for boredom. Eat outside if you have the option to. This is the most natural way of eating, okay? This is how we used to eat outside. This is what our nervous system is familiar with, barefoot on the grass, sun on us, and just eating out in nature or in a backyard. And the second thing you can do to communicate to your nervous system that you're okay and you're ready to digest is your breath. Your breath is the fastest way of communicating to your nervous system. So a lot of us are breathing through our mouths and taking very shallow, small breaths, and we're breathing up here in our chest, okay? Using our neck muscles, our shoulder muscles, and stressing all of this out, okay? This is all signaling to our nervous system that we're not okay. And a lot of us are doing this 24/7 on autopilot. No one teaches us how to breathe correctly. So instead of breathing through your mouth, you want to start breathing through your nose. And instead of breathing through your chest, up here in your chest, you want to be breathing through your belly, okay? So a simple way to test and see if you're breathing through your chest or your belly is to put one hand on your chest and one hand on your belly and just take a couple inhales or take one inhale and see if your chest hand comes up first or your belly hand comes up first. So you want to prioritize breathing while expanding your belly out. And instead of these small little shallow breaths that we're breathing, we want to breathe in deep through our nose while expanding our bellies out on those inhales. So you want to breathe deep, okay? Very deep and slower, okay? We're breathing like just so fast and shallow, okay? And this is really stressful to our nervous system. So just remember nose breathing, deeper breathing, and belly breathing, okay? You want to feel your belly expand out as you're taking those inhales, and as you're exhaling, you want to exhale fully all the way and feel that belly come in, okay? And you want to do this breathing exercise for 1 to 2 minutes before you eat your food. This is going to put you back into the present, back into your body, and out of the thoughts and the worries and the judgments and the opinions and the thoughts that don't actually exist, okay? It's going to put you in the right now, the present moment, and within the present moment, only joy exists, okay? There's never anything wrong in the actual present moment when you're feeling your body and hearing and coming back to your 5 senses, okay? That's a huge one, is coming back to your 5 senses. What do I hear right now? What do I feel? Doing a body scan of like feeling different parts of your body, maybe feeling your right elbow and then feeling your left elbow, wiggling your toes, things like this. This is putting you back into the present moment and out of this, thought chaos. The second thing you need to do to heal your gut naturally is to take a step back and realize that these healthy labeled foods are not actually healthy, okay? For something to be healthy means it has to be healing, okay? And, these healthy breads and healthy oatmeals, these aren't healing to the body, okay? And I used to eat these foods all the time when I first went plant-based, thinking that I was eating healthy options. But truth is, these aren't actually healing the body, okay? The only foods that are healing to the body are enzyme-rich foods and hydrating foods. So enzymes are basically little partners for your stomach acid. They partner up with your stomach acid, which is responsible for breaking down your food. That's what your stomach acid is for. And these enzymes help your stomach break down this food, okay? And this is what your digestion was designed for, is enzyme-rich food, okay? Every fresh, whole food that you can eat in its natural form out in nature contains living digestive enzymes in them, as well as hydration, structured water. And the only foods that are enzyme rich and hydrating are fruits and vegetables, fresh, whole, unprocessed fruits and vegetables and leafy greens. These foods are alive. They've been cooked and ripened by the sun already perfectly for our digestion. It's got the enzymes, the minerals, the fiber, the hydration, okay? And as soon as we take this food and cook it again in a toaster or a oven, microwave, things like this, you're destroying these natural digestive enzymes and the fiber and the minerals and the water in it. So now it's just taste and empty calories. This is why cooked food is so addicting. This is why you can just eat some pizza, eat a whole box of pizza, and 3 hours later you'll be craving more. And so a lot of us have been eating, mostly cooked food our whole lives, and these are enzymeless food. So our stomach acid has been having to overproduce and overcompensate for these, enzymeless foods. There's no enzymes that help our stomach acid to break them down. So now our stomach acid is very weak, okay? And now it can't break down this food as well as it used to. So this leaves a lot of undigested waste, okay? Unbroken down food sitting in our colon, and this manifests as different diseases in our body. The body is living, the body is electric, okay? Even when we go to sleep, the body is still turned on and doing this internal cleansing and repair while we're sleeping at night. So it only makes sense that our diet should be a reflection of who we are. Living, hydrating, and electric, okay? Me and you are water-based, sun-charged beings. We're 60 to 70% water-based, and our cells, all of our million cells, are charged by the sun, okay? So we need to be eating this sun life energy and this water within our diet. This is how we heal, okay? A lot of our symptoms are really just caused by food addiction, okay? We're very addicted to these cooked foods. When you add heat to anything, you create toxins, and toxins are very addicting. So start implementing more of these living, hydrating, enzyme-rich foods, aka fruits, vegetables, and leafy greens, okay? Start your days off with juicy, hydrating fruit with these enzymes in it, and this is going to break down any undigested waste and prepare your digestion for the day. It's going to hydrate and lubricate this gunk in your colon and get you eliminating properly, instead of just piling on top of this undigested waste with these dry, dense foods like the toast and the oatmeal and the animal products. And if your body doesn't respond well to natural raw foods, fruits and vegetables and things like this is because your body isn't prepared enough. It's not light enough to receive this healing, cleansing energy from the fruits, okay? Fruits are very detoxifying, they're very hydrating and stuff. So if your body is mostly dehydrated and filled with this undigested waste in it, you're going to experience a lot of detox symptoms while incorporating raw foods into your diet. So you want to slowly wean off of these dense animal products and these processed, packaged, microwavable, frozen meals, okay? And start eating more whole plants, okay? Beans, legumes, grains, and things like this. Now, these are your transition plant foods, the beans, the legumes, the quinoa, okay? These aren't enzyme rich or hydrating, but they're way less complex and they're way less dense than these, processed foods and animal products. So you want to come down the density scale and come down the complexity scale into more lighter foods like these whole plant foods. And as you begin to eat like this more regularly, you can incorporate more of these raw, fresh living fruits and vegetables and greens into your diet without experiencing such intense, harsh detox symptoms. And after you're eating these as your baseline diet, these whole plant foods and smoothies and salads and things like this, then you begin to wean off of those dense and complex plant foods into more light, hydrating plant foods like, steamed vegetables and raw vegetables and sweet potatoes. Steamed sweet potatoes actually is 70% water content in them. If you guys want more guidance on implementing more raw, hydrating, living, enzyme-rich foods into your diet properly without shocking your system to heal your gut naturally, you guys can download my free book, The Gut Healing Solution, using the link in the description. So I used to always just wake up and eat breakfast. Like, this was just my normal. I thought this was cool. And I would finish eating like an hour before I go to bed. And this is really causing your digestive system a lot of stress, okay? So our bodies force us every single night to go to bed, to fast, okay? And fasting is just giving your digestive system a break, okay? Because if we weren't forced to sleep, let's face it, we would probably still just be eating 24/7. So when we are fasting at night, when we're sleeping at night, our body is doing some deep work, deep internal cellular repair and breaking down any undigested waste and things like this. So when you give your body this big overload of food right before you go to sleep, a big dinner an hour or two before you go to sleep, your body has to focus on breaking down this food all night instead of doing other healing that it could be doing, breaking down other undigested waste from yesterday and last week's meals. So we want to start giving our bodies more time after we eat before we go to sleep to digest our food. So I like to use a 3 to 4 hours window of no eating before I go to sleep. So I have my dinner around 5:30 to 6 o'clock, and I'll go to sleep around 9:30 to 10. And within those 3 or 4 hours, my body can break down this dinner fully so that when I go to sleep, it can work on breaking down other undigested waste in me and other cellular repair within me. So the third thing you want to implement to heal your gut naturally is to start intermittent fasting, okay? Start shortening your eating window for the day, okay? When we're eating, right when we wake up and all the way to right before we go to sleep, okay? The only time your body has time to digest this is when you're sleeping, okay? And this causes poor sleep quality and lots of undigested waste. So by shortening that eating window, giving yourself 2 to 3 hours after you wake up to just do some light movement, some stretching, some walking, things like this, you're actually extending your body's fast, okay? You're assisting your body by helping it, break down more of this undigested waste, extending that fast, extending that, process while you were sleeping. So if you're new to intermittent fasting, start slowly, okay? So if you're used to just eating like within the first hour of waking up, try waiting an hour, okay? And then and just drink like some water or some warm water or lemon water if you would like. And after getting comfortable with this, you can do 2 hours, waiting 2 hours in the morning before you have your first meal. And same with at night, okay? So just start with like an hour. If you're already eating within the hour of going to sleep, just start with 1 hour, and this becomes easier as the weeks go by. By like week 3 or 4, you'll be at the point where because your body literally works off of, familiarization, what it recognizes and stuff. So as you begin to implement this, this becomes your body's new normal, okay? And it becomes so much easier than just starting out, going 2, 3, 4 hours before you sleep and after you wake up. So you want to start slow with this. And this was a huge contributing factor to eliminating my bloating and, constipation and things like this. It really took care of all that undigested waste and stuff. I was giving my body way more time to process and break down this food that I was feeding it. Another thing that I would do that just kept my digestion very sluggish was I would sit for hours after I eat. Now, while we're eating, this is perfectly okay. This is actually what your body prefers, is to be still and not walking while eating. But after you eat, it's crucial to get some movement in and activate your lymphatic system. So that is number 4, is to get a light walk in after your meal, okay? This activates your lymphatic system, okay? Your lymphatic system is responsible for your immunity, your immune health, okay? And 70 to 80% of your immunity lies in your gut. So if your lymph is sluggish, aka you're just not moving very much after your meals, then this waste inside of you is getting reabsorbed, okay, instead of cleared by the movement. By moving your body lightly after your meals, you're keeping this internal plumbing inside of you flowing naturally and eliminating, okay? You're assisting your body in breaking down this food by, you're moving when you're moving, you're taking a walk, your whole body internally and externally is moving, it's circulating, okay? And this begins to clear swelling around the gut and your digestive organs. Now let's talk about hydration. So I used to drink water with or right after my meals, thinking that I was hydrating myself. I thought this was normal. But what this is doing is diluting your stomach acid, and we need strong stomach acid to be able to break down our food efficiently and not create any undigested waste, because this undigested waste is the reason that we're experiencing all these symptoms, okay? This undigested waste manifests into different diseases in our body and eliminates through different elimination pathways in our body, like, our esophagus, feeling those flare-ups and the heartburn and the chest pressure and, the digestive chaos, the bloating, the constipation, okay, the clogging in our colon, and we're not eliminating as much as we're eating. And this all comes back to having diluted or weak stomach acid. When we have weak stomach acid, our food isn't breaking down all the way, and we're creating this undigested waste. So to not dilute our stomach acid and keep our stomach acid strong, we want to, instead of drinking with or right after our meals, we want to eat our hydration with our meals. So by that I mean eat non-sweet, water-rich foods like cucumber slices, celery sticks, bell pepper slices, green leafy lettuce. You want to pair these foods with any foods that aren't hydrating or enzyme rich, which is most of the food that we're eating. Any cooked food has no enzymes or hydration in it. So they require an excess, unnatural amount of stomach acid to break down, okay? Your stomach acid and your digestion was not designed to break these enzyme-less, dehydrating foods down. There's no water content in cooked foods. And this is why we feel the need to hydrate ourselves during or right after our meals, is because the food is dehydrating us. So obviously we want to get more raw foods into our diet, less cooked food. But when we do have cooked food, we want to pair it with those non-sweet hydrating foods. And I say non-sweet because sweet fruits are best digested on an empty stomach. They're literally designed to be digested by themselves and not paired with anything else like nuts or fats or cooked foods and things like this. Okay, this causes fermenting and more bloating. So we want to get those sweet fruits in, preferably in breakfast time, when we have that empty stomach, hitting our system with that hydration first thing and those enzymes to break down any and lubricate any undigested gunk in our colon. And when you do drink after a cooked food meal, you want to wait at least an hour and a half to 2 hours to drink anything after you just ate solids. And this is going to keep your stomach acid strong the whole time it's digesting your cooked food. So number 5 is to hydrate properly, okay? Don't drink with or right after your meals. Try to just hydrate, 30 minutes before you eat, and just pair all your cooked food with those non-sweet hydrating foods. These are going to provide your body with those digestive enzymes to help break down that cooked food and provide your body with some hydration, okay? Your digestive system is made out of water. It needs water, okay? And also, bonus tip is to get rid of all oils in your diet, okay? Oils are very, very high concentrated fats, and your body was just not designed to know how to digest these, super concentrated fatty substances, okay? I'm gonna just call it substances because oil isn't food. There's nothing out in nature that is that fatty, okay? These oils require an excess, unnatural amount of stomach acid to be able to break down. And like I said, we're water-based beings. And me and you both know that oil and water does not mix. It doesn't combine. And it doesn't matter if it's coconut oil, extra virgin olive oil, avocado oil, grapeseed oil. Even these healthy oils are still detrimental to your digestive health. And the 6th thing you need to do to heal your gut naturally is to get proper sleep. Lack of sleep or lack of quality sleep messes with your hunger and your fullness signals in your body, and this leads to cravings, overeating, and slow digestion the next day. When we get enough of quality sleep, this reduces cortisol and other stress hormones in our body that inflame our gut, because going back to the number 1, our nervous system regulation, we can't digest properly and break down our food properly when we're stressed, okay? And if we're not getting enough sleep, we have more of these stress hormones activated, and we're not in that rest and digest state to be fully breaking down our food and absorbing the nutrients and the energy from our food. Poor sleep just causes more cortisol, which is a stress hormone, and other stress hormones that cause more bloating and indigestion and reflux, IBS, things like this. And the last thing you need to do to heal your gut from the root is to start incorporating more warm or hot water into your diet. Start swapping out the beverages that you are drinking, the coffee, the caffeine, the green tea, these stimulating beverages that are very stressful on our glands and our digestive organs, with warm water and preferably some loose leaf herbs. Okay, so some really good herbs for optimizing your digestion and assisting your digestion and breaking down undigested waste is marshmallow root, clove, and slippery elm. And then you have your bitters, okay? So I use yellow dock root and wormwood, okay? Now you want to start incorporating these after you've gotten used to just drinking more warm water and hot water, and these regular herbs like the marshmallow root and the slippery elm, herbs like this, okay? Because these are very strong, okay? They are powerful in pulling out undigested waste and helping you eliminate properly. And the last thing you need to do to heal your gut from the root naturally is to start incorporating more warm and hot water into your diet, okay? So swap out the green tea and the coffee and these stimulating beverages that are really stressful on your glands and your digestive organs with warm or hot water, preferably for breakfast on an empty stomach before you have anything else, okay? Because this hot water, this warm water is very powerful in just breaking down that undigested waste and lubricating your colon and getting things eliminating. A lot of us are drinking cold water, and this is slowing down our digestive system because our bodies have to heat this cold water into our body's internal temperature, which is like 97 degrees. So we think we're hydrating ourselves off cold water on a hot day, but this is actually slowing down our digestion, and that hydration isn't actually hitting our cells until about an hour after we drink it. And in this warm or hot water, you can drink it just by itself. You can add some lemon, or I like to add loose leaf, caffeine-free herbs. Okay, caffeine is very stimulating, especially on an empty stomach, and very stressful for your digestive system. So I like to lean, caffeine-free, loose leaf herbs, and I use slippery elm. These are great for digestion, these herbs, for supporting and eliminating undigested waste. Slippery elm, marshmallow root, and clove. And then after you've started to incorporate more of these and your body is used to, getting in this hot and warm water regularly, you can start implementing bitters, okay? Now these are loose leaf herbs as well. They're just more powerful and more detoxifying and really pull out that undigested gunk in your colon. So I use yellow dock root and wormwood. So you guys can find these on Etsy or maybe at a local co-op or natural health store. And these are also best digested on an empty stomach. Now, these bitters are going to be very bitter, for your first couple of times. You might think it's a little nasty, but so just start slow, and as you start incorporating it more into your diet every day, into your routine, your taste buds begin to rewire. And so every 7 to 14 days, your taste buds rewire. So by adding, say if you don't like these, hydrating enzyme-rich foods I'm talking about that clear and heal your digestion, like the cucumbers, the celery, the bell peppers, eating them in their raw form and not adding any seasonings and oil and things like this to them. You just want to start eating a little bit of it every day, and within 7 to 14 days of consistently eating it, now your taste buds begin to rewire and start craving this when you're hungry. So whenever you're hungry, your taste buds just crave whatever you regularly feed it. And same with your gut bacteria, okay? Your gut bacteria is made out of all of the foods that you're regularly eating. So whatever you're regularly eating, that's what your gut bacteria and your taste buds are craving. So slowly start to incorporate these herbs and these raw, living, hydrating, enzyme-rich foods into your diet. Start pairing it with these cooked foods, and get rid of the oils, get rid of these complexities and processed foods that just never rot, okay, that are sitting in a box. They're very dry, dense, they require a lot of stomach acid to break down, slowing down your digestion, causing more undigested waste. So quick recap on how to heal your gut 100% naturally from the root within just a couple of weeks is: number one, regulate your nervous system every time you're about to eat and while you're eating. Send those signals to your nervous system. Hey, I am in a rest and digest state. I'm ready to eat. Okay, I'm present. I'm off the phone. I'm not around any chaotic people or environments. I'm breathing properly. I'm coming to my 5 senses. Okay, remember the deep nasal inhales, feeling our belly expand, not our chest, taking those full exhales, feeling our stomach go back in, okay, connecting with our breath. This is the fastest way to communicate to our nervous system that we're ready to digest. And number 2 is to eat more living, electric foods, because we are living electric beings. Our bodies never shut down, even when we're sleeping. So our diet should be a reflection of who we are. Water-based and sun-charged. This is exactly who we are, so we need to be eating those water-based, sun-charged fruits, vegetables, and greens. And number 3 is to start intermittent fasting, okay? Start slow, and this is going to give your body more room and space and time to fully break down all of your food and not leave any undigested waste behind that manifest into these symptoms that we're experiencing today. And number 4 is to activate your lymphatic system. The only way to activate your lymphatic system is by movement. Go on those light walks after your meals, maybe some stretching, maybe a little yoga, things like this. And number 5 is to hydrate properly. So cut out drinking with or right after your meals, and instead hydrate preferably 20 to 30 minutes before your cooked meals, and wait at least an hour and a half to 2 hours to drink anything after eating, and start pairing those cooked foods with those non-sweet, hydrating, enzyme-rich foods to help your body break this stuff down, help your body with those enzymes and that hydration. So the cucumbers, the celery sticks, the bell peppers, and the leafy lettuce. And number 6 is to make sure you're getting enough quality sleep so that your stress levels aren't so high and you can be more in this rest and digest state all day. And so you're not throwing your hunger and fullness signals off, resulting in slow digestion, bloating, and overeating. And number 7 is to start your mornings off with warm or hot water or caffeine-free loose leaf herbal tea. This is going to help break down any undigested waste in the morning and just get things lubricating and moving and eliminating out of your bowels properly. I hope you guys found massive value in this video, and I will see you guys in the next one. Happy healing, family. Cheers.